Binance is back in the news cycle. We've made a video talking about Binance before, and maybe it's going down the same similar path where there's just a slow collapse of Binance happening. Who knows? This is the world's largest crypto exchange, so if there is a collapse coming for Binance, it is probably going to take a long, long time. FTX lasted for quite a bit too, so Binance being number one, they're probably going to last quite a bit. But they now have some text showing that the company's alleged plans to undermine US regulators. So they had Binance, the international firm, and then Binance US, just like FTX had FTX International and FTX US, and it showed that maybe there was some commingling of funds going on there. I think FTX situation was a little bit better than even what Binance is looking like here. We can see a big breakdown of this. It was by the Wall Street Journal actually broke this story, but this here says the report unveils text messages between Binance and Binance US developers, implying closer control by the former over the latter than previously claimed. It also digs up Binance presentations pitching Binance US as a way to insulate Binance from US regulators. Insider documents also show alleged proof that the CEO, CZ, had at least at the time of Binance US's launch in 2019 maintained control over Binance US parent company. So where Binance US and Binance were supposed to be completely separated, no talking, not sharing a CEO, they're supposed to basically be like two independent businesses. They weren't necessarily that. They were pretty much controlled by CZ, reported to him, and did whatever he said. And the part here saying to insulate Binance from the US regulators is probably the biggest thing that US regulators are going to be most upset about, because obviously you're trying to skate around their authority, and things like the SEC and these regulators, they're not going to be happy hearing that that's what you're trying to do. And obviously it's a pretty tough time to be Binance right now. They have diverting lots of resources into the courtroom for a face-off with regulators trying to bar their Voyager digital acquisition, and also scrambling to mitigate the damage from a regulatory ban on the platform's flagship stablecoin. So after FTX collapsed and obviously turned out to be probably a really, really big Ponzi, Voyager was supposed to be acquired by FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried was supposed to be the guy to bail out the crypto markets. He ended up getting arrested and his whole firm collapsing. Binance comes in and now they're ready to buy it. So maybe they go on a similar road of FTX, them trying to be the savior of the entire market, and end up, maybe they're not as legit of a business as they put on. But they have the problems with their Voyager acquisition. They also have problems with their stablecoin, as people are trying to push it out of the market, not use it, and kind of maybe even ban it in the US at least, or make it so it's very hard to use it. So they have that problem going on. And now they also have their leaked text messages that they were trying to skirt US regulation. I mean, if we just look at the Binance USD stablecoin, you can see that it has had a major collapse in market cap, where at the peak here, it was $23 billion in market cap, down to where it is right now, 8.6 billion. So a very big, steep decline over a pretty short period of time here for Binance stablecoin. I think there was news that Coinbase was pushing people away from the Binance stablecoin, trying to really get people to use USDC. Although they might have been doing that with Tether, or maybe even both, but I know that there's been a lot of news around the Binance stablecoin, the BNB token as well. Not the healthiest place. Market cap over 100 billion at the peak here, and then all the way down to 46 billion where it's at right now. So, the crypto winter, the crypto bear market collapse, maybe you could blame it on that. Who knows? But BNB, there's lots of problems with looking into BNB and how Binance uses it, and how they kind of maybe make some fake volume there from how they operate on the Binance platform. It's a lot of weird things that can go into it. But either way, it's not good for Binance, right? Even if Binance is the best business in the world, they're not fraudulent at all. It's still not good for them to be on the wrong side of US regulators, to have text messages say you're trying to skirt them. That's going to make them mad. They're probably going to come after you pretty hard after that. And then you have your Voyager acquisition, that's problems, and your stablecoin causing problems. there's a lot of things going on at Binance. And that's not even all of it. There's still one major thing here, which we can see right here. The SEC is amid a long and far-reaching probe into Binance's business. The 2017 BNB offering is being investigated as a potential unregistered securities offering. So they're being hit from all angles. They did something wrong. They made the wrong people mad, and now they're getting come after. People are going after them. The regulators going after them, and this news of their text messages probably only makes it worse. And CZ kind of, I guess, respond to this. This is an earlier tweet of the beginning of the year, but trying to say keeping 2023 simple, and his do's and don'ts is education, compliance, product and service, and then 4, ignore FUD, fake news, attacks, etc. And that part is interesting because anytime there's even criticism of something, people would write it off as, oh, that's just FUD. But you should look into it. You should look into whatever the FUD is and see if it's legitimate. See if you can poke holes into it. See if there's problems there, and not just simply write it off as FUD just because you don't like how it sounds. And then he also tweets this out, remember 4, which is obviously referencing this right here, to ignore FUD, which is the normal talking point. But an interesting thing for remember 4, or the number 4, CZ is Chinese. I believe he is Chinese. But for Chinese, like in China, you can see this basically CZ secretly telling you Binance is about to blow up. If you look at it, this is his tweet saying remember 4. And then the number 4 is considered unlucky because it sounds like a lot like the word for death. And that's in China or Chinese culture. You can see that Chinese buildings often lacked a 4th floor because it's considered unlucky, considered, death. So it would be crazy if, this is like CZ secretly telling you Binance is about to blow up. Probably not, but it is kind of funny that the number 4 is, considered or goes hand in hand with death in like a Chinese culture. But he's constantly saying, remember number 4. And, it's ignore FUD and everything, but he's always talking about, number 4, remember 4. So it's just kind of funny how that works out. And this is just kind of an example of what people just write off as FUD and just couldn't care less about it. When you see someone talking about this Wall Street Journal article saying the text from crypto giant Binance reveal plans to elude the US authorities, which is a big problem, right? You can't just write that off as, oh, it's just FUD. You got to look into it and see if you can poke the holes into it. If you can't disprove it or you can't poke holes into it, there might be something there to be worried about. And this has, someone just saying, keep FUDding Binance. I need to buy more. And that's everyone's response, just saying, it's just FUD, keep FUDding it, the price goes down, I get to buy more. But if you can't actually talk about that FUD and say and poke holes into it and go through it and describe why it's not a problem, then it is a problem. You have to address it. You can't just pretend like it doesn't exist, like it's not there, because that's how you get blindsided and get absolutely wrecked. But Binance, far from, the safest exchange and the greatest exchange in the world, the most transparent, it's definitely not that. But as always, is everything you should be doing right now is taking all of your stuff off of exchange. You shouldn't have any exposure to exchanges because of everything that's happened. You don't want to be caught in one getting blown up and lose your money because you didn't take your money off and you trusted them. You don't want that to happen. But as always, that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.